What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Enigmatica 2 Expert. Oh yeah, guys. So last episode, we started setting up some advanced rocketry machines. Yeah, we got ourselves this precision assembler, and we were able to get something auto-crafting with it. We saw how fast this machine goes, and that's pretty cool. Today, we're going to be doing a little bit more advanced rocketry stuff. But before we jump into that, I kind of just want to show you guys what I've done around the base since last episode. Yeah, previously, right here where I'm standing, we had our tier 5 void ore miner. It was kind of a big thing. It started off small in a little corner, and then we had to move it out further and further, and eventually it took up like a big portion of this room. So yeah, I've decided that was kind of taking up too much space up here for where we're going to be putting our machines, so we have moved that. Also, you'll notice right here where our extreme reactor used to be, it is no longer here. Yes, I have moved that as well. And really what I've done is I just moved it directly below where they used to be. So this is our tier 5 void ore miner. It's still doing its thing. It's all hooked up. I have gone around the base and I decided to replace all of our ME glass cable, the Flux color, with the light blue, since light blue is kind of like the theme of our base, that color plus the quartz, right? So it just kind of made sense instead of having purple wires around or whatever. Yeah, let's go ahead and have light blue. So we still have the black for the P2Ps, and then we have the light blue for everywhere that our normal channels and applied energistics connections are. Over here, I have placed our extreme reactor. So yeah, we lowered this quite a bit, and then I had to dig down quite a few more blocks to get this whole thing in here. I did expand the reactor out. Previously, our core here was a 3x3. I've added 16 more control rods, and I think it was 128 more of the fuel rods in order to make this thing this much bigger. So yeah, it expanded out one block on all sides. I got rid of the computer port. We're no longer using that, and I believe the applied energistics connection is under here somewhere. Break this maybe. Yeah, oh, I didn't replace those Flux cables, but you can't see them anyway. But yeah, that's where we are putting in the fuel and stuff. Yep, so that's all doing its thing. So the big question is how much power is this now making now that we've added in almost double the amount of fuel rods that we had? And we are currently making 207,000 RF per tick. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yep. Our core heat is pretty much pegged to the max. Case heat is almost at the very, very top. Yeah, and then all the power, of course, is going over into our induction matrix over here. So we are starting to fill this thing up. We're at 73 GERFs at this point out of 614. So we still got a while before this thing's going to be full. But yeah, since we have so much power storage, I was able to turn off the reactor and do everything that we needed to do without worry about, you know, the power to the base running out or applied energistics running out, things along those lines. So yeah, like I said, everywhere around the base, we replaced all of the Flux cables with the light blue ones. I moved these machines down into the floor to free up some more real estate up above. And then I have added in these elevator blocks. Now this is what we're using right here for the longest time. Yep, we only had the one elevator, and I kept poking holes all over the base. I talked about that like a couple episodes ago, or maybe last episode, I don't remember. That, yeah, the base turns into Swiss cheese because I keep poking holes and I forget about them. So yeah, I colored these light blue. Those are, in fact, light blue. Grab one of these and we can grab lapis. You can dye these elevators if you did not know by right-clicking on them with different dyes. So that's the light blue. That's the lapis color blue. So even though that still kind of looks a little dark compared to the other light blues around here, it is in fact considered light blue in that mod, so that's what we went with. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. So we have one in the two corners, and then on the sides here in their little 3x3 areas, I put more elevators. I did not put any on this side over here because this is still above the ocean. We have not done anything below this area. And I did add one more elevator here, which takes us all the way up to our Starlight crafting altar, so we don't have to fly all the way up there every time. Even though it's a lot easier than when it used to be, it still takes a little bit of time, and I prefer not to do that. So yeah, we have that up there for now until we get back into Astral Sorcery and we start gathering more starlight and making this thing better. Like eventually with Astral Sorcery, you can fill up the top tier altar during midday and have it completely full of starlight. But yeah, we're not quite there at this point. So anyway, that's where we are with that today. So we did the precision assembler last episode. That's going to allow us to make more of the advanced rocketry machines cheaper, right? So let's go ahead and jump into some more advanced rocketry quests and see what else we have to do. So I'm probably going to want to make all of these machines. I don't know how many of these are needed to be set up and used, but let's just go ahead and set them up and use them. So cutting machine is going to be the next one that we can do. So a cutting machine costs what? It costs some of these things that we've already made. So the machine structure, I think, yeah, we're going to have to make a lot more of these Signalum cell frames. I can only imagine. Signalum, we only have one remaining, and the machine structure, yeah, we only have 8 of those. So I think we can make one more, and then after that, we are going to be out. Well, I guess that makes 6 more per craft. But yeah, we are going to be out of these blocks, and then we're not going to be able to do any more of the advanced rocketry stuff. So, I'm still trying to decide if it's worth setting up the complete auto craft for the Signalum cell frame fulls, or just to make like 100 of these by hand. Well, I mean, most of this is auto craftable, right? To make like about 100 of these and just call it a day, we might just do it that way, I think. Yeah, I feel like that's what I want to do. Let me go ahead and start making a whole bunch of these Signalum cell frames. Probably not 100. We'll probably do like 50, maybe 25. Yeah, anyway, let me go ahead and start making a bunch of those so we can get all these machine structures set up so we can make the rest of the advanced rocketry machines, and then we will continue on. All right, guys, so we're taking a little bit of a time here to look at making the machine frames automated at this point. Yeah, we need a machine frame for each one of these Signalum cell frames, and I don't want to have to craft all these by hand anymore. These can be made in the Thermionic Fabricator. We have pretty much everything else here auto-craftable, except for the Inori crystals, but that's something you can just do in bulk and just be good for a long time. That just takes a couple seconds to do. The Advanced Thermionic Fabricator, though, this is the machine that I feel like we should go ahead and set up. Yeah. That'll also save us from having to use the device frame in the recipe, which is just, it's not super expensive, but, you know, just a little bit of savings. And we don't have to worry about trying to automate a Thermionic Fabricator. Yep. So let's go ahead and do that. So in order to do this, we need this blueprint, which is a 256K ME fluid storage component. Now we don't have that, but we have a lot of the other fluid storage components. I think we made all the way up to the 64. Yeah, so we just need to do this guy. Let's make a recipe for that, and then fluid, oops, right click. Fluid storage. Yeah, we'll stick that right in there. So a fluid storage 256. Can we even craft that? Do we have the stuff? We do. So let's tell it to craft everything up. So the longest part of this is just waiting on the pure Certus quartz crystals to be formed, but you know, that's not that bad. I do like the way these ME terminals look now that I replaced the cabling behind them from the Fluex to the light blue. Yeah, it's kind of a nice color. Anyway, so now that we have that, we're also going to need the rest of these blocks. So we need 2 Thermionic Fabricators, an ME Fluid Assembler. We didn't make an ME Fluid Assembler recipe. Fluid Assembler. So this guy does require a molecular assembler plus a 1K. Okay, fluid storage. I will put it right into here. So fluid assembler. The fluid assembler normally is used for creating recipes and applied energistics that use fluids. Yeah, and then it can auto craft with it. So if you have water stored up in a barrel or something with a fluid storage or a fluid interface on there, no, storage bus, a fluid storage bus, the system knows about that water, and then you can make recipes that have like buckets of water in them, and then you have to put them directly into this fluid assembler. It's like its own little unit that gets connected to the system, so you can see there's patterns in here. Yeah, and once you put in a recipe that contains like a bucket of water, for instance, in this case, then the system will know how to craft it with the pattern in here. Yeah, So we haven't really needed anything like that so far, so we haven't really explored this, but maybe in the future it'll be something worthwhile for us to do. So the fluid assembler, we have that done. What else do we need here? Let me try doing that. Okay, so we have all 3 of these middle ones. So we need 4 machine casing, which we should have on AutoCraft. And yep, everything's good to go on that. And then we need 2 thermionic fabricators, which means we are going to need 8 gold gears. And that should be done pretty quickly. Awesome. In fact, we could probably steal our other thermionic fabricator at this point and just use it here, but I'm not sure that's actually, it's not a big deal. So we'll take those guys, we'll do this. There's a advanced thermionic fabricator blueprint. Okay, so now that we have that, oh, did I use the wrong? No, I didn't. Okay, we have 1 arc furnace electrodes and it keeps trying to use that. So I made a bunch of these crafting component ones and I didn't check on that recipe to make sure that I didn't use this one. I'm not sure we're ever even going to use that. In fact, I should probably put this over here just to be sure that we never use that. Yeah, okay. Should be good now. So now that we have the machine blueprint, we're gonna need to see what all is required to make this thing. So we got our shopping list here. So it looks like we need 9 blazing pyrotheum, 8 hardened platinum glass, 41 more machine casings, machine controllers, 8 blocks of steel, 4 64K crafting storages. Oh man, this thing's expensive, huh? Okay, well, we got most of this stuff auto-craftable at this point, so I'm just going to go ahead and get everything together. We'll start building this machine, and hopefully we put it together right the first time. All right, guys, so we got all the parts together for this new machine. This is going to be the Advanced Thermionic Fabricator. So this is another 5x5 machine. So it's the same size as this one over here, but it is like a complete cube instead of like the corners being shaved off. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's going to be something like that. So if we go back into here, we can kind of see the plans of what this thing looks like. So the whole floor of it is just pretty much completely the blocks here. So let's go ahead and lay those guys out. Like so, like so, like so. And then we just fill in 9 more blocks like that. Okay, so getting back to this. We have our controller, looks like right in the center, so let's grab that and place it. That guy goes here. Then I did see we had, yeah, that's a green thing. That must be the item input. This must be the item output, and then on the back, I'm not sure. So we can go layer by layer, so let's do that. This should tell us when we hover over it. So yeah, that's the, oh no, that's fluid input. Oh, interesting. Okay, so fluid input, then we have item input, and then item output. Okay, I would have set this up wrong had I not looked at it that way. So there's our item input, we need our item output, and then our fluid input right here. Now that is pretty close to our applied energistics stuff here. We'll have to figure out all of this later. I might move this machine over. I don't know. I just want to get it set up and check it out and see like what there is to see about it, I suppose. All right, so getting back to this layer, so we do that. So it is every other block with the hardened platinum glass is what I'm using. You can use platinum or mana glass. Yeah, okay, so that's what we're doing. Every other block, this stuff. And we'll be able to see that blazing pyrotheum in the center, which will be kind of cool, I suppose. Okay, so there's that, and then we needed more of the casing on the corners here. Okay, then the entire center is filled up with the blazing pyrotheum, which I have in here, but we're not going to place that down just yet. Let's continue on. Let's look at the next layer before we do that. So on top of that, we have more blocks of steel, more of the machine casings, and then we have to do all these different 64K and stuff like that. So blocks of steel we'll do first on the corners. Never put this machine together before, so we are doing it together. So there's that. Running out of room here. Ceiling, oop, ceiling's a little low. All right, so now I think we can place in the blazing pyrotheum. So I gotta press V on this. On use fill, on use empty. Okay, so blazing, 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 blazing. Like so. I was kind of concerned that it'd be setting these blocks on fire, kind of like how the jelly cryothian puts snow all over everything. That's why I was kind of waiting until we put another layer of blocks in there. I'm not sure if that's actually the case or not, but anyway, so that was my reasoning. So we have the 64K on the cardinal directions and then the coprocessors in the corner. So let's get those placed. Yep, there we go. Now we're getting fire. That's what I was kind of wary about. And then the crafting. Like you place those down and then it puts fire on there, and I think it'll randomly add fire a little bit later as well, possibly. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, so again, this. And then we have the energy thingy right here. Okay, so now that that's all set, it looks like we have corners with the thing and then the vents on the cardinal directions. There's that. And hopefully this will prevent any future fires from being started in the base. All right, so the last thing that we need to do is get ourselves a Flux Point, and we can just place that right in the center here. All right, I can barely see it by flying. Do that, set it to my network. Ignore limit. Okay, so it says structure found none, status missing structure. What? Did I not just do this correctly? Apparently I did not. It doesn't like it for some reason. Now if I put the blueprint in there, does it update? Advanced thermionic fabricator, structure found none, missing structure. Now that's all the parts that it said. It did say we can use the platinum glass, hardened platinum glass, 4 machine vents, 9 blazing pyrotheum, 41 machine casings, a fluid input machine controller. Everything in there is correct, so I wonder why this is not working. Aha! So the reason it was not working is because we have the thermal expansion blocks of steel instead of the immersive engineering. Yep, it even shows that particular one here, then on the list it says block of steel 8912/8. Yeah, that's different than what we were using. You would think it would still work, but no, it wants that specific block. Okay, so you can use a chisel to chisel between those two different block types. So that's pretty nice. All right, so the structure is found, and we can put this in here, thermionic fabricator. So now we're missing the fluid input. So we need to get ourselves molten glass in here in order to do stuff. So if we go back and look at the uses for this thing, yeah, so liquid glass is used in every single one of these recipes. So we need a way to get liquid glass into here. Now again, we kind of have a problem where we have this thing in the way. So we might end up using applied energistics to move fluid from one thing to something else and then start producing the molten glass somewhere. Yeah, I think I saw that you can do that with a melter from Nuclear Craft. So you can take glass or sand and you can turn it into liquid glass. So if we get a melter melting this stuff, and then pushing this fluid into some kind of a portable tank or something, we can put a fluid storage bus on there and then have a fluid export bus right here. And I think that'll take care of it. All right, so just a simple setup here. We have a melter, yep, and it's gonna receive an input of sand once we set this up. So we're gonna start exporting sand into the melter. So that'll receive the sand, it'll melt it, and then we're extracting that out into a resonant portable tank here. Yep, so this guy is going to be on a ME fluid storage bus, so the system knows about the liquid glass that we have here. And then all we need to do is put a fluid export bus up above, which we've already done actually. What I needed to do though was grab a bucket of this liquid glass so I can set the filter. Okay, so over here on our fluid export bus, we can just do this. And that should start exporting the liquid glass right here. Yep, we're gonna want acceleration on this, definitely. Let's just make like 10 of those. Think we should be able to make those, maybe. Actually, that's gonna take a minute. I just told the system, oh, you know what, I guess it's not doing that. I just told the system to make like 1,000 pure Certus. Okay, well, I guess that must be done already. Awesome, so acceleration. Yeah, I was thinking that it was gonna be blocked by that autocraft happening, but I guess not. So that is full of liquid glass. Awesome. And then down here, I don't know if, no, we don't need any acceleration on this. That's keeping it full. We could put more upgrades in here. This is already using 15,000 RF per tick to do this. And it's going to be using 15,000 RF per tick for quite some time to fill this up. 2,400. And we're only at about 100 right now. Yeah. So we'll just let this thing go. We'll have plenty of liquid glass for all of our stuff in the future. I'll empty out this bucket. Don't need that anymore. And I think we should be pretty much okay. Yeah, all right. So that's all set up. So now that that's ready to go, we can get ourselves Applied Energistics hooked up over here, specifically for the crafting of the components that we wanted in our, what was this thing? The Thermionic Fabricator. Okay. So yeah, let me go ahead and get some more Applied Energistics hooked up. We need to get another interface or two, something like that. So we can put a recipe in there and then retrieve the recipe to complete it. Place that here, more Applied Energistics networking. Let me get this all hooked up and then we'll continue on. All right, well, if everything works, we should just be able to pipe these items into the Advanced Thermionic Fabricator. Yep, and we should be able to make ourselves machine frames automatically. All right, so Advanced Thermionic Fabricator, we got that right here. So let's try and make a machine frame. It says we have everything. We are missing heavy engineering blocks. Okay, so heavy engineering block is made like so. I guess I gotta do a little bit more pattern creation here. Not really a big deal. I don't know if we have uranium plates. It doesn't look like it. How do we make those? We can do it on the metal press. We can do it in the compactor. Yeah, we don't have any more room here. Metal press, we got plenty of room. All right, so let's do a recipe for these in the metal press. Oh, I gotta do one of these patterns, this, that, like so. Get rid of this thing, make it, and then that goes into our metal press, like so. This one goes just into the normal. Yeah, that's just a normal crafting thing. I don't know where to put it. Feels like it should go down here somewhere. How about right there? So heavy engineering. Okay, so if we want to do machine frame, are we able to craft that now? It looks like it. So if I want to craft, I don't know, how about 10 of them? Can we do that? It looks like we can. So let's go ahead and get this all started up. Probably should have just done one at a time to make sure everything works, but it says that we can craft these things, so you know what, we're just gonna go ahead and try it. Now off camera, I also did speed up our IC2 stuff over here. Yeah, you can hear these things kind of going crazy. Something, I guess that must be the macerator. It's got its sound buffered up. I have 10 overclocker upgrades in each one of these, and that was made using this IC2 coolant. So 1 bucket of water plus 8 pulverized lapis, I do believe, makes 1 bucket of the IC2 coolant. And then I have a fluid ejector upgrade in here to eject that coolant that it makes over into here. And then I was manually taking that over to a carpenter and making the overclocker. These guys here. Yeah, so that's tin plates, copper cables, the basic control circuit. All of this is very basic stuff. And then it does require the IC2 coolant. Now there is an advanced carpenter recipe for that, but you have to have IC2 coolant in the fluid tank here. And I didn't want to set up a completely new one of these things in order to do this. So yeah, I just made enough to put 10 of the overclockers into each one of these machines. So everything is quite speedy now. You can put up like even further than this, like 15 or 20 of them. But when you get up that high, then you start having to worry about the internal power of the machine. You have to start increasing that and adding more upgrades in there. I didn't want to deal with that. 10 seems fast enough. So anyway, thought I would mention that. So where are we at on all of this stuff? Machine frame looks like it's still crafting something. I'm not sure what's going on here. It looks like it got stuck somewhere. It says it's crafting it. I guess we need to go take a look over at our device and see what's going on. Missing fluid input. But we have fluid input here. 5,000. Oh, does it require more than 5,000? I don't think I even looked at that. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, we need a much bigger fluid input. I didn't even consider that. Okay, fluid input. So we need a big fluid input hatch minimum. Probably the huge one is where we're gonna wanna go with that. So to do this, we need to upgrade this machine. Oh boy. When I remove that, that's gonna let this blazing pyrotheum free. Or it could possibly just get destroyed by the blazing pyrotheum. I guess the blazing pyrotheum won't go anywhere because this fluid export bus is here. Let's just... Okay, we're fine. It's gonna set things on fire. We don't have anything flammable there, so we should be okay. So yes, we need to make a much bigger fluid input. Man, I thought we were all ready to go. We're not. So we also need fluid laser relays. Now this is interesting. So in order to do that, we need energy laser relays put in front of the atomic reconstructor to make these. Energy relays, I don't think we have auto crafting, but we have made a few of these in the past. Laser, yeah, we have one remaining and no auto craft for that. All right, well, let's start working on this then. We need this pattern, this. I think everything else here is auto-craftable except for the Restonia, but again, that's super easy to do. Guess I'll just place it here. So can I do an auto-craft of this? It does not like that we are missing the advanced coil, so we need to fix that. An advanced coil is made this way. I wonder if we can make this recipe now. Does it know how to do everything? Oh no, we're missing basic coil. Man, I thought we had some of these things already done. I guess I am incorrect. Okay, I think it knows how to make all of this stuff. Maybe not the impregnated stuff, but we should have plenty of that already. Laser. Okay, so if we do laser, next. Okay, so it knows how to make this now. Awesome. So we gotta take these and throw them in front of this guy. Like so. There we go. There is the fluid laser relays. So now that we have those, we should be able to make these better hatches here. So we'll say this one, then the big fluid, and then the huge fluid. We're just gonna go ahead and do the huge fluid upgrade. So fluid, where is that in here? I guess they're all down here. Let me find them so I can just kind of like stick them close together, I suppose. I guess we'll put them like right. Man, I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter. Let's just throw them in here. So the huge fluid input, let's put this other one in here. Huge fluid input. Can we do this? Well, it looks like everything is ready to go. It's just going to be a matter of time for us to craft it. So let me get this going. We'll place that over where it needs to go. It should just fill up with fluid. Things should just work, and we'll be back. All right, guys, so the moment of truth. This machine doesn't like the fact that it doesn't have its fluid input, so let's put that here. This should fill up with the fluid. There it goes. 12 buckets is enough. Oh, yeah, it looks like it's crafting. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, it looks like we are getting the machine frames back. It knows what's going on here. Awesome. So we're now able to auto-craft machine frames. That's really, really awesome. And then when this thing fills up, we should be able to craft them a little bit quicker, I think, going forward. I decided to use a ME import bus on this side instead. And then we do have that fully accelerated, so it should be importing as fast as possible. Okay, well, we got yet another one of these machines set up. It's kind of big, and it does the same thing as like a single block unit, but I think it's kind of cool. Yeah, I like the fact that that's an option, and we get a chance to use it. Well, unfortunately, we didn't actually get into the nuclear or the advanced rocketry stuff today that I wanted to do. We kind of got stuck going back and trying to automate some stuff, but that's good because getting those machine frames, that was always a pain in the butt for us to do manually. Now we don't have to worry about it. Everything's auto-craftable. As long as we have the resources, we're good to go. But anyway, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on the episode if you liked it, and We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.